Hello and welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining on time. It's always great to see huge number of crowd joining in at the time expected. Let's just wait for 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. I'm just making sure that everybody joins and nobody misses any session. All right. Again, I think most of you might have attended my session, and most of you probably might be attending my session for the first time. So we'll have that discussion intro and all that stuff. Okay. Meanwhile, I can check the session. Is that a Yamaha guitar in your back? No, that's not Yamaha guitar. And the session has to be focused on me, not on the guitar, guys. Okay. All right. Uh, all right. So I think meanwhile people join. I think there are more than 800 people. I think we can quickly begin at least for a couple of things that I want to discuss before I start the session. So most of you might be attending my session for the first time. I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Shubham, and I work for Microsoft as a developer. It's been almost 7.5 years. I have been working for Microsoft and I have touched upon multiple business verticals. Windows 10 is the first product I worked on and we launched across the world. And then we moved to Office 365, where I contributed in MS Word, MS Office, and all that stuff. And then it's Bing, and currently it's all going to be around Copilot and data science, which I'm doing at Microsoft. All right. With B10X, I take some sessions which I feel I can add value, and that's where you would see me engaging with you in a lot of aspects. Talking to you not as someone who is here to teach, but talking to you as someone who is here to showcase the power of AI, and together we can understand how different and how extraordinary things can be done via AI. Right? What exactly the session is all about, we'll come to that, we'll discuss about that. And there is a general pattern I follow whenever I take the session, especially when there is a crowd like this. People who have attended my session in the past might be already knowing. So the very first thing I do is I try to understand the audience, and depending upon that, I shape up the content. Because what I'll be teaching to someone who is already working at a tech company might not be same as what I'll be discussing with someone who is not from tech, right? So I try to always understand that who is coming from what background, and I follow a very simple approach. All I would want you is to mention three things in the chat in the same line, so that the chat doesn't get very heavily things. You have to just mention three things. The first thing is, are you a student or a working professional? That's the first thing. First, hear me out. Don't start answering it right now. Just hear me out. Okay. The three thing is, first thing, just mention, are you a student or a working professional? The second part, just mention if you are a student, which domain you are studying in, or if you are a working professional, what is the domain of work you are into? And the third part is, which city are you from? Okay. Three things clear. First, are you a student or a working professional? Second, which domain are you in? And the third one is city that you belong to. Awesome. Working professional, program manager, Amsterdam. Amazing. Dishant is from Amsterdam. Shruti, working professional, HR, Bangalore. Sales, Mumbai. Construction, Bangalore. BSc student, Lucknow. Okay. All right. My chat window has just blasted like anything. I can't. Finance, Gurgaon, working professional. Telecom, Pune. Okay. Awesome. Karnav says insurance industry, Delhi. How's the pollution, Karan? Okay, PP, economics, geography, MBA, Katni, MP. All right. Sales and marketing, Hyderabad. Awesome to see someone from Hyderabad. I am based out of Hyderabad right now. So amazing to see. Marketing background, Maharashtra. All right. Working professional, IT, Pune. Great, great. I see people joining from different areas and making my job difficult to see variety of domains coming from different segments. Telecom, Bhubaneswar, IT manager from Bangalore, Hyderabad, developer. Okay, so most of you are 50% of you are from tech, 50% of you are not from tech. People who are not from tech, I see, are coming from HR executive background, digital marketing background, FMCG sales, project management. Okay, I have a fair understanding now. Today I see less number of students, mostly working professional, which is great to see. Retired Hyderabad. Oh, some. Okay, great to see. Marketing. All right, I might not be able to see all of. I might not be able to read out all the messages, but I'm just getting the gist of it, and then accordingly we'll get started. All right. Working professional, HR, Chennai. Awesome. Jobless now from Raipur. No worries. I think you can call it career break, not jobless. QA lead, Panipat. Awesome. Great. Okay. So I have a great understanding of the audience makeup. And thank you for being so energetic on the chat, guys. I think this is the way I get fueled my energy. Great to see. Awesome. Now, a quick things. What we are going to discuss today, I'll be just talking about that in a brief manner, and then we'll try to understand that how each one of us in the call, right? Whether we are coming from a tech background, non-tech background, sales background, marketing background, or a student, how can we leverage something that we learned today? Because it doesn't make sense to just know the AI tools. As long as you are not making a difference in the way you work or the way you implement things, it's not going to add much value. So it's very important to understand what is something we can do today that we can learn from this particular concept of what we are going to discuss that we can implement right away. So the whole discussion of today's session is going to be not just talking about the tools and its capabilities, but it's also going to talk about how you can leverage that in any field that you are currently in. That is going to be the major impact builder. All right. So this is going to be the whole agenda, and this is going to be the whole idea of what we are going to do in this particular session. Okay. All right. Now, okay, I think I already introduced myself, but I'll reintroduce myself for the people who joined late. Okay. As you can see on the Zoom call, my name is Shubham. I work for Microsoft as a developer and a data scientist. 7.5 years I've been working for the company. I joined Microsoft in a fairly young age. I was 20 years old when I joined Microsoft. Um, as an intern, and then I got converted to a PPO, a pre-placement offer. And since then, I have been working at multiple platforms, products, including Bing, Office, Windows 10, and currently we are building Copilots. GitHub Copilot, if you might have heard about, is something me and my team recently launched. Okay. Yes, I'm sharing my LinkedIn profile as well. That's I was supposed to do it in the end, but that's fine. I'll do it right away as well. And talking about that, the very first thing that we are going to discuss is what is something we are going to talk about in this particular session. Okay. But before that, I'll quickly share the LinkedIn links as well. Okay, that's okay. I sent to host and panelists. So sorry, I'll send it over here to everyone. Yeah, that is the LinkedIn link. And I usually share the social media link as well in case anybody is not part of LinkedIn, but everybody should. So I'll share that as well. Okay, all right. Now, in this particular session, the whole idea of this session is a peak of automation that the world has seen. What is a peak of automation? The very first automation that we had seen when the chat GPT came into the existence, right? When chat GPT came into existence, we saw automation of the search engine. That you don't have to actually go to Google to type to get answers and find the websites where the answer exists, right? Chat GPT just automated everything. You don't have to go to Google. I'm not sure how many of you go to Google for search anymore. I don't do that because every answer ChatGPT has. ChatGPT now has the capability of searching across the websites and things like that as well. So you don't have to actually go to any search engine. ChatGPT is the one-stop solution that can give you all the results in no time. All right. Now, this was the first automation that came into existence. Now, ChatGPT uses generative AI. And guys, we'll keep it very conversational. Okay. I have a habit of setting up the whole agenda, talking about the complete backstory of what we are going to study for the first 15 to 20 minutes so that we exactly understand what we are getting into. And when we get into that, you will have a clear idea about what part, how part, and why part. Right. So that makes more sense for the topic and the main part to come into existence. Okay. Now, I was talking about the automation. With the onset of AI, the world is seeing automations. The very first automation that was seen was ChatGPT. ChatGPT uses generative AI. Okay. Can we just talk about what difference do you think? What's the difference between the AI which was there before Gen AI, which was traditional AI, and what is generative AI and what is agentic AI? We have three different AIs, right? The AI which was existent back there, back in the days when ChatGPT was not there, right? There was still AI, like weather forecasting apps, you was using AI and all that stuff. When ChatGPT came, generative AI came into existence. The world saw the power of generative AI. And now we all know about agentic AI. Can just someone tell me what's the difference Not in technical terms. I mean, RAG models, LLM models, it's fine. What if you're trying to tell to a student that what's the difference between a traditional AI, a generative AI, and an agentic AI? How will we talk about the difference between the three? Okay, nature on how they learn human pattern. Okay, generative AI creates flow. Robo, agentic AI is a robo. Okay, agentic AI can take decision itself. Okay, old AI only specific tasks. Chat GPT generate content. Agentic AI does the job for us. Okay, very nice. Now more on creating content, tools used. Okay. Agentic is a bot, manpower difference. All right. Okay. Fairly, I do see some relevance in terms of what exactly the difference is. What I'll do is I'll keep it in a very layman terms. Okay, so that everybody, irrespective of whatever domain you are coming from, you'll be able to understand. I'll explain something in a very extremely layman terms. Now imagine there are two students. Both are going to appear for an examination. All right. Let's suppose that examination is about Indian history exam, for example. And the both of the student have used and studied from the same textbook. Okay. Two students going to appear for an examination of Indian history is the examination subject. And both of them have used the same textbook to study from. Now, student one has followed a different approach in studying. What student one has done? Student one is using an approach of mugging up the whole chapter word by word, sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph. So every single thing is completely inside the mind of the student one because the student one has mugged up the complete book. Now, whenever the question comes, student one is able to answer it exactly right away, exactly as per the what topic, what content was there in the textbook. So if the question comes, what was the downfall of, let's say, Mughal Empire? Student one thinks and tries to figure out which paragraph, which sentence I have to put from the book and exactly mentions that over here. Student 2 follows a slightly different approach. Student 2 follows an approach where he or she does not complete reads the book and mucks up the book. The person understands the book. Student 2 understands the whole history and understands like a epic, like a story. It understands the whole concept. It understands the whole line way and storyline and the year by year appearance and the whole concept altogether. Now, whenever the question comes in the examination, student 2 does not just write the same content which was mentioned in the book. Whereas student 2 mentions it in his own words, writes something according to the question exactly. Right? Now, both will be able to answer the questions if it is coming from the book. But some question which is slightly tricky and straightforward answer is not present in the book, student 1 will fail. Okay, that's the exact difference between traditional AI and generative AI. Traditional AI is student one. We used to feed the data, and the traditional AI used to be relying only on that data to answer anything or do anything. Only reliant on that particular data. If a AI model is doing, that is the traditional way of approach. For example, initially, weather forecasting apps or stock prediction apps, how we used to create those models. We used to get the data of the past records, past weather forecasting, or probably past stock market, and we provide it to that particular AI. Right? Providing it to that particular AI, the AI used to learn from that data and answers exactly as per the past data which we provided to it, not anything else. But generative AI is trying to understand and generate the content. That is the power of AI that came into existence along with generative AI. The power to correlate, the power to understand the pattern, the power to think like a human, right? So now, if you give any question to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is heavily built on generative AI, and OpenAI is the company, OpenAI is the organization, which is the first one to create a model of LLM, which is in turn generating AI, right? So now any question if you ask to ChatGPT will never say I don't know the answer. It will definitely give you certain answer because the generative AI has the capability to understand the pattern from the web, get inferences and create something for you. Generative AI can create something completely new for you as well. For example, I can even go to ChatGPT and say give me a song which the world has never seen, right? Or give me a poem which the world has never ever heard of. It can actually write a poem for you, which you can claim a copyright because it's something completely new. It is something it has generated by itself. So that is the power of generative AI. creating something on its own by understanding the pattern of the data and thinking like a human and being creative like a human as well. Creativity was never existent before generative AI. After generative AI, creativity is there in AI. AI can create things. AI can mesmerize you. AI can be more creative than a human, right? So that is the difference between traditional AI and generative AI. Now the point comes, what is agentic AI then? Generative AI is something we understand it now. It can generate things, it can understand pattern, but what is the difference between generative AI and agentic AI? Anyone can take a guess? Okay, can do it on our behalf. Great, Stephen. Very nice. Okay, the very simple answer is generative AI is someone you can assume like a mentor to you. Okay. For example, if I go to ChatGPT and say that I want to build my own portfolio website, it will give me all steps, how to do it, what code to use, what language to use, where to put, how to deploy, how to maintain, how to test everything. The ChatGPT will give me every single step. But in the end, it's me who have to do it. It's me who has to follow all those steps and create a portfolio website, which I have asked the generative AI or ChatGPT to do. But if I do the same thing with agentic AI, agentic AI will not guide me. It will do it on my behalf. It will just act like my employee. So generative AI will act like your mentor. Agentic AI will act like your employee, right? So that is the power of agentic AI. And that is exactly the reason most of the companies are trying to leverage the power of agentic AI to reduce the human workforce. The whole companies and all the organizations are trying to leverage the power of agentic AI because agentic AI can work 24 by 7 unlike any human. Agentic AI can be accurate like any human, right? It surpasses the intelligence, the capability, and the accuracy beyond human capabilities, right? And it can be controlled very easily. So agentic AI is something every company is trying to leverage from and trying to make a most of it. And that is what the whole idea of this session is going to be. One of the agentic AI tool we're gonna talk about that can showcase the power of automation. Okay, we were talking about automation. AI is seeing in automation. The first automation what we saw was chat and a search engine being replaced by the chat happening on the chat GPT, right? I don't go to Google to search something. I don't go to Bing to search something. Now I can just directly ask a question to chat GPT and it just gives me the answer directly without me having to go to any website, right? That's the first automation we saw. Second level of automation, what we saw? Code generation. All the developers who are writing code, they are leveraging agentic AI to create code. Now websites are being developed by AI, agentic AI. There are a lot of GitHub Copilot, Claude AI, and all that, right? So these kind of automations we saw. Third level of automation. Now AI can talk to multiple systems at the same time. Now I own a company as well, and what we do over there is every day, in order to keep the social media very engaged, we have to post something very interesting, right? Every day. Now it's practically possible for a human to do a research of the news articles to find some most interesting news in the world of AI and post about it. But it takes a lot of your time. As a company owner, my expense is going for that human, the one who is exploring what is the news article. Second person is designing the content. Third person is posting it. Now there are automation tools like Zapier, like N8N. It's a third level of automation where it can talk to multiple systems. So we designed a system where it automatically checks on the internet what is the most interesting news about AI. It picks that, it summarizes the whole content into 2, 3 lines. It generates an image automatically using the AI tools out there like DALI, Gemini, and all that. And it talks to my Instagram connector and it automatically posts it on Instagram. The AI is also smart enough to understand what hashtags has worked in the past, what hashtags has not worked in the past. So depending upon that, it can self-learn and make sure the next post is more engaging. 20% Instagram accounts are already being handled by AI agents, right? So that's a third level of automation. Today, we are going to talk about something beyond interesting. Today, we are going to talk about something which is the fourth level of automation, where someone who is speaking to you or someone who is talking to on a phone, what if you never realize that there is AI talking on the other side? How about you having a company where you have a AI receptionist or you have a AI call center? You don't have to have any person sitting in a call center, having an office space, getting phone numbers, handling their work schedule, getting all that stuff. You don't have to do that. And that is exactly we're going to learn today. Whether you are a small business owner, whether you are someone who is trying to establish a firm, whether you are already running your company, or whether you're an employee who might see this as a value addition in your company, you might be able to find some or the other use case in this particular scenario, right? And it is as simple as someone, you generate a phone number, someone calling on that phone number will be picked by a AI agent, and you will never even realize that the AI agent is talking on the other side, is something we're gonna learn today. Okay, so the AI agent or the agentic AI tool that we are gonna talk about, the name is VAPI, VAPI, and it's something we are gonna learn today. All right. Okay, cool. So I think before I begin, any questions, anyone regarding whatever we discussed? Two things we have discussed so far only. The first thing, we understood the difference between traditional AI, agentic AI, and generative AI. What are the difference between all these? That's the first thing we discussed. Okay, you have to be extremely clear about it, that what's the difference. Second thing what we discussed about is what are the different level of automations that is happening across the world, right? AI came into existence and some automation started happening. Level by level, the automations are increasing. First level we saw was ChatGPT coming into existence and search results happening on chat. Then next level of automation, what we saw is all the code generation, content generation, video generation, image generation happening on the AI. That's the second level of automation. Third level of automation is a AI agent is able to talk to other AI agents or other aspects and able to create something altogether end to end. Example I gave was, I don't need to have my marketing team or a sales team or a not sales team, marketing team or a social media team, because the AI agent is able to find the best marketing content, create the marketing content and post it on my social media. So that's a third level of automation. The fourth level of automation is what we are going to discuss today, is creating a human like sounding AI agent for yourself, so that anybody who's calling on a phone number or anybody is trying to speak to you, you can create it like your own assistant, your company's receptionist, or a call center or a support channel, whatever, right? That's a fourth level of aspect we are going to talk about. Okay, all right. So I'll quickly share my screen, and we'll just go ahead with the session where we are talking about VAPI. Um, okay, let me just share this particular screen altogether. Okay, just a second. I'm just trying to share the right window so that it's good for you to view it properly. Okay, all right. So I hope my screen is visible about this one. I think. Okay, hold on. Just trying to. Okay, yeah. It's okay. It's okay. I'm doing it once again. I got spammed in the chat that is not visible. Just a second. I'm trying to share the right window. All right. Now I'm pretty sure the screen is visible. Great. Awesome. Okay. So this is the AI tool that we are going to discuss in detail. And again, there is one way to use it is just like a layman, but you will not be able to understand the complete aspect of it if you're just trying to use it as a layman. So what we are going to do over here is we are going to go in detail and talk about each of the capabilities present in this particular VAPI AI agent, and what is something you can do in order to leverage it for your use case is something we are going to discuss in this particular session as well. Okay. All right. Guys, screen is visible. So if someone is not able to see it, I think you'll have to rejoin because I think everybody is able to see it. I'm getting some messages where people said it's not visible, but yeah, people, it's visible. It's all good from my side. Probably you'll have to refresh your screen or something like that. Okay. All right, cool. So very first thing is the URL is vapi.ai, and all you have to do is you have to just go to Google or Bing and just type VAPI, or you can directly go to vapi.ai, right? The very first thing is you have to sign up. So once you click on sign up, it will go to the dashboard. It might ask you to sign up first, and then it will go to the dashboard. Okay. So since I had already logged in before, it directly took me to the dashboard. Okay. It's absolutely free. So everybody should be able to do it. If anybody wants to do it along with me, I'm more than happy to guide you on that part as well. Okay. All right. Now, the very first thing we have to see over here is this is the place which you lands upon, which is overview. Okay. Now, VAPI is a tool, as we were discussing about, it just mimics like a human. It mimics like a human, and it's a voice agent. What do you mean by voice agent? Initially, now most of you might have gotten calls from an AI agent where you, as soon as you pick it up, you get a automated same repeated text that, hi, I'm speaking from this. If you're interested in this, press one. If you're interested in this and that, press two. Something like that, right? Yeah, Avantika from Spring Pad, something like that. You must be hearing that. Now, those are the pre-recorded content that just runs as soon as someone picks the call. Okay. What we are talking about here is conversational, is something you might not be able to realize that you're talking to a bot, is something the power of VAPI is. And that is what we have kept this particular as a part of the session, where it's next to impossible for anyone to, I mean, not next to impossible, but it's fairly difficult for anyone to understand that the other person who is speaking is a bot, because it has voice modulation, it can understand your words, it takes into account of your emotions, it takes into account what you're asking, and only then it answers things like that as well. Okay, Gaurish says Air India, Indigo, and banks should be using this feature. Yes, yes, absolutely. We're gonna conduct the session for them as well, right? But for now, we'll be doing it for you. Great. So very first thing is ignore the overview. Very first thing is focus on the assistant tab. Okay. Now, assistant tab is a place where you can create n number of assistants. Okay. You can create, I mean, there is no limit on number of assistants you can create. Who is an assistant? For example, I have, let's say, 5 businesses, for example. One business is about bakery shop. I have a bakery shop, and second business, let's suppose, is about transportation. Third business is about, let's say, hotels and all that stuff. And in each of these businesses, I want to have this particular tool as a customer support executive. That anybody who calls my hotel, my transport service, or my bakery shop, I want the assistant to talk about as if they are the assistant of that particular business. Okay. So in that case, I'll be creating 3 different segments or 3 different assistants over here. Okay. I'll be creating 3 different assistants for my 3 different businesses. Okay. The very first thing is let's start with creating these 2 assistants I just created because I was trying out things. Go slow. Okay. I'll go slow. Sorry. Am I going fast? I just get very excited when I talk about things which I love. So I might be increasing my speed, but okay, I'll go very slow. Okay. So the very first thing is where we will be creating one assistant that will be answering questions about one of my business. Okay. And as I mentioned, each assistant is going to talk about one of my business. So very first thing is there are 2 assistants which I have already created, and we will ignore these for now. What I'll do is I'll create a new assistant. Now, as soon as I click on new assistant, this window comes into the place. I can give an assistant name. Suggest me some cool name, guys. Oh, first, before we suggest a cool name, what do you think we should be talking about? Like this agent, let's suppose let's create a receptionist, okay, of a business, customer support, appointment scheduler, whatever. We'll start with a blank template probably. Okay, we'll start with a blank template, and we'll just create an assistant for one of my company. What could be the business? Suggest me some businesses. Lead qualification, uh, air travel, company flights. Okay, okay. Hotel, hotel seems good. Okay, car dealing, food. Okay, lot of suggestions are coming in. Okay, I'll pick some random one. Okay, for example, I'll pick this IT service, music, cyber security. Okay, dental clinic. Let's pick dental clinic. Okay, I mean, so many suggestions came in I no time. So we are creating a receptionist who is sitting in the front desk of a dental clinic. Okay, and suggest me a name of that receptionist. Any name that you can suggest, any Indian name, so that we can relate it well. Not Jarvis. We'll create it an Indian name. Okay, okay. Most of you are suggesting Pooja for some reason. I don't know why, but okay, we'll go with Pooja. Okay, so we have an assistant named Pooja. Okay, let's keep it just Pooja. Okay, Pooja is my assistant. Pooja is my receptionist, and I own a dental clinic, for example. And I am trying to create a assistant Pooja who is going to take care about all the aspects for all the phone calls coming on that dental clinic. It could be about taking feedback, taking appointments, altering the schedules, checking the doctor availability, everything. Okay. So this is going to be my agenda for creating a assistant named Pooja. So that's all I'll be doing over here. Okay. I'll just increase the screen size. Okay. I hope the screen is visible, guys. Okay, so this is name Pooja, and I could have selected a quick start guide, customer support, lead qualification, info collector, but I want to showcase you completely in terms of how to start from scratch. When you are doing it, you can click on any of these quick start. It might pre-fill some things. Okay, so uh, I will just put the name and I'll click on create assistant. Now, as soon as I create assistant, it creates a blank template for me. All right, it just creates a blank template for me. So now I can just zoom out slightly. I'll have to zoom out a bit, guys, and I'll move it over here. Let me move the chat window over here. Okay, now I have to configure it. I have to configure in the way I want it to behave. Okay, now ignore the cost and all that for now. Very first thing is the model. Now in the initial time, you don't have to dwell a lot into which model to use. Every model is reaching to similar accuracy, more or less. OpenAI is the most accurate one according to me. So keep provider as OpenAI and model as GPT-4 cluster. Now in GPT-4 cluster, you have to be very concerned about one thing. Now there is something you see is talking about conversational, right? There are some models which are conversational, few models which are not conversational. Okay, what's the difference between conversational model and a not conversational model? Conversational model are the ones that can converse with a human like a human, right? Like whenever you go to chat GPT and you ask a question, previously it used to just answer it, but now it answers you and asks you, right, that do you want me to bring some more details, or do you want me to also do this, do you also want to have the understanding of this, or should I also answer this particular question, right? So it is a conversation. It is trying to talk with you. It's not a one-way talk. It's not that I provided you something, now it's up to you, whatever you want. I did my job. That's not the case. Hence, whenever there is a bot on the call, humans are by default conversation, right? Humans are by default conversational. So you have to select conversational model only if you want to make sure that it is replicating a human receptionist. Okay. All right. Now, second part is first message mode. What Pooja should do? Pooja is our AI agent. Don't get confused when I say Pooja. Okay. What Pooja should do? Pooja should wait for the person to speak and then Pooja should speak, or Pooja should speak first, or should greet, right? So we can configure in any way. Generally, in a general customer care support, as soon as you pick up, they are supposed to greet the person that, hello, I'm speaking from this. I'll be more than happy to help you with whatever concerns you have. Please tell me, how can I help you? Something like that, right? So we'll try to keep it in the same way where assistant will speak first. First message, I can actually configure the first message as well, that as soon as Pooja picks up any call which is coming to my dental clinic, what should be the first message the Pooja should speak? It should be just hello? No, I should definitely put a good aspect over here as well. And then only she should talk about that, right? So let's do one thing. We'll create a best possible first message and also a system prompt. Now, before first message is very clear. I mean, in layman terms, first message is something where whatever the assistant is supposed to speak as soon as the call comes. But the second part is system prompt. Now, system prompt is something, is an instruction to the agent. That instruction will always be there with the agent. For example, you hire a person. Let's suppose Pooja was not an AI agent. For example, Pooja would have been a real human, and I'm trying to hire Pooja for my reception job, right? What would I do in the first instance? I will probably train her. I'll probably guide her about how to do what to do. Correct? How will I guide her? I'll probably talk about all the details about my company, the dental clinic. I'll talk about all the schedule I am going to see the patient. I'm going to talk about all the process that she needs to follow, where you have to, she needs to follow in order to make sure that she's able to help the people, right? All of those things I need to train her or guide her. Same way, training her or guiding her is the responsibility of system prompt. And over here, we have to put all those details, because in this case, Pooja is not a human. Pooja is a AI agent. All right. Most of you are asking for this link. I'm sharing this link in the chat. Okay, I just share to everyone. It's free tool, guys. You don't have to pay at all. I got multiple messages, so I'm just putting it there. The link is on the chat. You can actually go ahead and then check it out as well. Okay. All right. So all those information I have to give her. There are two ways to create those information, right? We'll just create, because we don't actually own a dental clinic. So we have to create some dummy information. Okay. It is free, guys. It is, VAPI is completely free as long as you're trying to have more number of users or everything and all that. It is free for everything. At least for the part I'm discussing, it's completely free. Okay. Now let's go to ChatGPT. And what we'll do over here is we'll create uh, some content for Pooja for training her. Okay. What I'll do over here is I'll just say I have created a AI agent called Pooja, and I want her to be the front desk receptionist for my dental clinic. Give me a sample data for my dental clinic that I can give to Pooja, the AI agent, about the details of the company, the scheduling of when she should be able to book the schedule, talk about the schedule of the doctor, talk about the process of altering the appointments, talk about checking feedbacks and all of those things, right? Whatever is possible, give a complete set of instruction as a system prompt, which I can give to Pooja. Now I just created this prompt and I'll just share this across. Okay. I'll just share this. So it will basically create the whole content of the system prompt that I can give. Okay. So now look at this. It is actually creating the whole system prompt. What it is saying, identity and tone, right? So it creates the personality. It talks about how should be your personality. How should be your personality? Polite, calm, warm, professional, all of those things. And it talks about clinic information. The clinic information, where is the clinic going to be? What are the contact details of the clinic? What are the clinic timings, right? Who are the doctors present? What are their schedules, right? All of those things, appointment duration type, everything is kept over here, right? I can just copy this and paste it in my system prompt. Okay. I'll share the prompt, guys. I just spoke it out, but I'll still share this. Okay, yeah, I'm sharing the prompt, guys. Okay, that's the prompt. Okay, I did not give much thought by writing the prompt. If you saw me, I just spoke the prompt. Okay, but the whole point is now I have the complete details about this particular thing. I have the complete details about my dental clinic, which I can use to train Puja, right? This is way number one. Okay. Way number two is there is a generate option here itself. I can generate a system prompt. For example, I can just go over here and I can just say generate, and it will say describe how would like to edit the prompt. So I would say same thing I would say over here. Same prompt, let's put, and let's see what it generates. I'll just paste it over here and I'll say submit edit. Okay. And it will automatically generate. Look at this. It automatically generated the same thing, right? It just said you are Pooja, friendly, efficient AI receptionist for dental clinic. It talked about the style. I'll just accept the changes. It talked about the style. What style? Okay, I'll just zoom it, guys. I'll zoom it. Hopefully the screen is visible. I talked about the style, that your tone should be polite, professional, responses, everything. I also talked about the response guidelines. How should be you responding? Spell out the dates and time to sound natural. All of those things. Task and goals. Greet the patient warmly and offer assistance. Everything, right? All of those things I have mentioned. And let's also put one thing. Let's also put something like doctor regular schedule is 5 clear. Okay, awesome. Okay. I'll also say over here, I'll also paste some content from here. Okay, about the doctor availability. For example, doctor and their schedules. I'll paste it over here. Okay, so I have doctors and their schedule as well, and some more content probably I can share. I can share something like escalation rules, data privacy. Okay, this should be enough. Address, I can probably put address, right? I can put a clinic name and contact details and all that. Okay, it's already there. Great, awesome. So I have all these details and I'll just click on update. All right. So now what I have in place, I have it all the aspect of what Pooja was supposed to know in order to answer my patients or people who are calling me. Okay. Prompt I have already shared, guys. This is the prompt I already shared in the chat. I generated one content from ChatGPT and I also generated one content directly from the generate option in the VAPI tool. Okay. Now, both in these tools, I am able to create content. I'm able to put in the system prompt, and there are some data I just use from ChatGPT as well. So now look at this. What all things I have? I have information about Pooja, that what Pooja should be doing. I have clinic name, address, contact details. I have a style that Pooja should be following, right? I have some response guidelines that Pooja should be talking about. And then I have some task and goals, that what Pooja's exact task is going to be, right? All of those things is something I have given the detail to Pooja so that she can answer it well. Now I'll just proceed with the next steps. Now let's move ahead. Okay, file section we'll discuss later. We are trying to just do end-to-end first. Next thing is voice configuration. Now imagine someone with a heavy baritone says, "Hi, I'm Pooja." It will not work out, right? You have to probably have a female voice, correct? So that's the thing. You have to do the voice configuration. You have to make sure that whatever content or according to gender or something like that, uh, we have to create that. Someone is saying me, make her sound like a Batman, please. Okay. We will do that in a different kind of session, guys, not over here. Okay. All right. So, voice configuration, we will have these many configurations over here. We have so much configurations. We can select from anyone. Now, if you see in each of these configurations, we have age mentioned with a uh, gender along with which place they are from. So 22-year-old white male, and then we have probably 24-year-old white male, and then 26 years old, and then we have Kyle, and then we have 25-year-old female American, right? We have Asian, we have Canadian, all of these, correct? So all of these will act and actually talk about like a real human. Okay, and let's select this particular person, Asian probably. Okay, and I'll also showcase you how to find Indian voice as well. We'll do that. You can also do it on your own voice. All of those things are possible. Right now I'm just trying to do the bare minimum, showcase you end-to-end flows, and we'll talk about every different aspect as well. Okay, so very first thing is, let's do this. And we have selected the voice, and let's do one thing, additional configuration. Let's check what additional configuration we can do. We don't need any background sound. We don't want music to be playing in the background. It's not a spa studio, right? Fallback voice, no. We don't want right now. It's not required. Transcriber tools, no. So I think these aspects are enough as of now to make sure that we are ready for the launch. Okay, it's as same as that. Bare minimum we can do to make sure that we are able to get the end-to-end aspects clear. Just one check, one will do one thing. We'll just do publish once. Okay, so that it gets published. It talks about what all the changes we have done. So yeah, this changes seems correct to me. Structured output configured helps you to output and calls in production. We got at least 5 structured outputs. Okay, so it talks about what kind of structured output I should be talking about. So let's suppose call summary. Okay. I mean, towards the end of the call, what should be the structured output should be there as a call summary is what it was trying to ask us to do it, which is okay. We have done that. And that is it. We'll just do skip and publish. We'll just quickly publish this. Okay. As soon as we have published it, we should be able to test it now. Now, before I test it, since we were trying to create, a person who is an Indian, let's try to at least figure out a way where we can have an Indian person speaking an Indian female. Okay. So let's suppose gender will say female and accent. Let's suppose we try to find an Indian accent. Okay. We'll just try to find an Indian accent. So there are lots of Indian accent over here. Okay, so we have Anika, Anjali, Priya. We don't have Pooja over here. Okay. Anyways, so we can find any accent that works out well. So you can actually check out and try out by listening. So let me just play some of the audio, and that will also be a check where you can tell me if you are able to hear that. So let me quickly check Manshi. All right.
We can do no great things, only small things with great love.
Okay. Let's check out this one.
Efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things.
Okay, good enough. Probably we can pick this one.
Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration.
Probably we want someone who is more softer. Let's check this one.
If you spend your whole life waiting for the storm, you'll never enjoy the sunshine.
Okay, we'll go ahead with Gia. That's fine.
Efficiency is doing things right.
Perfect.
Effectiveness is doing the right things.
All right, great. So we'll just okay, we're not putting time over here, guys. It's okay. Anything is fine. You don't have to put preferences. So we'll put all you have to do is you have to just copy this particular thing. Okay. The code, every voice has a code. For now, we are picking Gia's voice, and there is a copy voice code option. All you have to do is just do the copy voice code, and we can just go back to the assistant, and we will just go to the voice configuration, right? And we'll try to put this configuration over here. Okay, it will not find because it's the paid configuration. VAPI. 1 second. Okay, all right. So I think probably it will be under additional configuration, background score, fallback voices, add voice fallback, 11 labs. Okay, no worries. I think probably they will it's a pro version aspect. That's okay. We'll go ahead with this person, Elliot. She is Asian and a female, and probably we'll move it to Hannah. Okay, we'll go ahead with this version. And what we are going to do is now we are going to test it. Okay, so now we'll make a phone call. Right now, we'll make a phone call on using this feature. And then after this, we are going to actually make a phone call using our phone, probably. Okay, we'll see that. So now what we do is provider is 11 labs, huh? Okay. Sorry, I think I missed this part. One sec. Okay, my system is slightly hanging, guys, because Zoom is taking a lot of content.